Do you guys ever have a Reese's peanut butter cup, but just one? And so you don't know when to eat it, and the time you'll enjoy it to the maximum, so it just kind of hangs around?
I usually just munch that shit right when I get it.
Yeah. Welcome to WayTooBroad, show and tell program for really, really ridiculously excited grown-ups. I'm Hannah, and I just made my co-host wait for a lot longer than 5 seconds to start talking for fun. And these are my co-hosts, Erin and Ben. Hi, Erin.
Hello, Hannah. Hi, Ben.
Hello.
So I'll have to explain this a tiny bit. We started a new thing where right before we start the actual episode, we just sit in silence to get like room tone so that I can clear out some of the background noise later. And usually I just like guess at 5 seconds, but this time I just decided to go for as long as I could stand going.
Room tone.
Hannah, I did not noise gate.
Oh, well.
I don't even know how to.
I know. I don't either. I never looked into it. So
I will figure it out for next week.
Okay, so another thing that you might notice this episode, or you might have noticed in previous episodes, is that Ben's new apartment in the room that he records in has a boiler. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
That's like across the room from him, and it makes.
No, it's directly underneath me. It's the boiler for the entire apartment building.
Oh no, but what's the other
massive
thing in the room? The whistling
it's
thing.
the radiator.
So he has a boiler below him that makes
that shakes the whole apartment.
Yeah, and makes a really not a loud, but like a deep rumbling tone, which sometimes you can't hear. But then also behind him across the room is the radiator, which makes a whistling noise, usually around the same time. So usually I'll catch one or both of those noises in the recording. So we're going to work on fixing that. If you've noticed it, it's a known issue. Just please love us anyway. Thank you.
I got a noisy apartment, okay?
Like the rumble and the whistle, write in and hashtag save rumble whistle.
Hashtag save rumble whistle.
I don't want this to turn into a big thing. I don't want this to turn into noise gate. I'll take my questions off air.
Now that I'm like the host of a show saying that, I'll take my questions off the air.
Now that I'm really firmly established in my job, I've been really letting the pun gates open. And the other day, my CTO was like, "You can pack your things up." Like it was. I am who I am. I don't apologize for that.
And now you're unemployed again.
So looking for a new job.
No, that's cool. Congratulations on getting to the point of punning at work.
Thank you. I call it pun employment. Getting fired for too many puns. Oh, I can't wait to use that next time.
From fun employment to
I almost
pun
want
employment.
to get fired now.
Yo, what's going on with me tonight?
Yeah. All right, let's get down to
it. Wait, what are we drinking? Yo,
what are we drinking?
Yo, who's drinking what first?
Ben, what are you drinking first?
You know I got ice water, and you know I got an empty glass that used to have water in it. That's me, baby. Never change. I'm so true to myself.
I'm really confused about that because you went and got a fresh cup of water right before.
This can't be that confusing at this point. I drank it all before we started recording.
Yeah, we actually talked for quite a while before we started recording. And then we talked for quite a while after we started recording before we actually got into the show.
That's true.
We started
and also, I'm
half an hour
notorious
ago.
for drinking a lot of water.
Oh, wow.
A lot of water. I drink water constantly.
I'm notorious for drinking a lot of water.
Constantly drinking water. I can't stab.
All right, you Boston accent, you.
It's not.
All right, you live in Boston. We know.
It's like a Wisconsin accent.
It's like
Or not
nothing.
even a real accent.
That's an alien accent. That's nothing. That's an alien trying to pretend to be
glitching. Yeah.
Ben. A water.
A lot of wet.
It's like pronouncing water as if it has 2 T's in it.
And like 15 A's.
Oh my gosh. I am also drinking water. But hold on. But
Water butt.
but mine is in a fancy opalescent goblet.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah.
Opalescent, that's a great word.
Thank you. I made it up.
That's really nice.
You didn't make it up. That's a word.
No, I wrote it. I came up with it.
I wrote it.
That's nice. Where'd you get that opalescent goblet?
This is
Chalice, if you will.
like a almost one of a kind goblet because so like I might have mentioned before that my company that I work for makes it's not my company, I just work for it. They make dinnerware.
I invented that word and I own the company.
The word company. The company that I work for sells cookware. We also sell like dinnerware and beverageware and stuff. So this is a glass that we have in the line of beverageware, but it's like a sample that we had our supplier make of a possible product we were going to do, which would be like this pretty opalescent color. And nobody liked them but me, so I got to keep them.
Dope.
Nobody in the field. Yeah, so it's nearly one of a kind. It's like 8 of a kind or something.
Set of a kind. That's the trick. Like things other people don't, and then you get them.
Yeah, it's very true. That's
It's
a
so
life
true.
motto to live by.
It applies to a lot of things.
We have an email. Oh wait, Erin, what are you drinking?
Oh, right. I have black tea. No, I have vanilla macaron tea, which is black tea, and ice water.
Nice. With ice in it. Oh, Erin, did you know that they're getting rid of the Yeti Cold Stir?
No. What?
Mm-hmm. They have it like
How
on
do you know
clearance
that?
sale right now. They served me an ad about it. I felt ambivalent about bringing it up because it was like so targeted, so hyper targeted at me. But I saw an ad on Instagram that said that they're getting rid of it, and it's on sale for like $18.
Why?
I don't know. Tee-hee-hee. All right. So,
Hold on. I'm on the wholetruth.com.
what?
I'm on the wholetruth.com looking this up.
What is that?
Hitting the dusty trail to make room for new innovations. Well, I'm glad I got a new one. You know, I lost mine, and then I got a new one for Christmas, so I'm glad I got that. I have to hold on to it.
What is the wholetruth.com?
It's just the website that brought it. It's like a boating website that cares about the Yeti Coaster getting discontinued.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Wait, was it the Hull Truth? Like Hull?
You got it. Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
Yes, sir.
That's absurd.
Yes, sir.
That explains a lot.
Yes, sir.
Can I read this email?
Please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this email is from Aunt Brown, our mom, 2/3 of
What up, Aunt Brown? Freaking shout-outs.
freaking shout outs. She's doing great. She's like, I went over the house the other day. You know, Aunt Brown just got her hip replaced a couple weeks ago. Few. I don't remember. And she was already walking around with a cane and like half the time not even using the cane. Like,
Wow.
She's doing great. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So you gotta watch out though, because sometimes she breaks the rules. She pushes her limits.
Pushes them.
Yeah. But she wrote us an email called I don't know how this is actually supposed to be pronounced. Aphantasia?
I say aphantasia, but I don't know.
Okay, aphantasia segment.
I've only read it.
Nuh-uh, there was that video. One thing that struck me when Ben was... Yeah.
Wow, not even letting me answer.
but I don't remember how she said it.
I don't either.
I'm not going to look it up.
Also, she was British, so...
Was she?
Aphantasia.
Wasn't she?
I don't know. I'm not going to look it up.
Bad.
Okay. One thing that struck me when Ben was talking about his experience with this and how strange it was to learn his brain works differently. There are times when people have always thought they were normal, like everyone else, and then they find out something about them is different. My experience would be finding out while at the dentist, well into my 30s, that the torus, T-O-R-U-S, on top of my mouth was not something everyone had. I found this really very disorienting. That is exactly
the same thing.
Yes, that is exactly the example that I used when I was talking to Dad about it, actually.
Wait,
do you also have it?
What is she talking about?
Okay, so in my mouth and in Mom's mouth and apparently in Ben's mouth, we have
Lucas,
we have a lump on the roof of our mouth. It's like it's just like excess calcium.
Like a big calcium. Yeah, it's a big calcium deposit.
Yeah, it's nothing, and none of us ever like noticed it. But one time I was at the dentist. Is it towards the back of your
throat?
No, it's like the roof of our mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can feel it.
And Mom's is really big.
I have like a lump. It's like the ridgy part, and then as I go back towards my throat, there's like a lump. But
no, it's like right at the front, right at the front, on the roof of the mouth. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Like you can see it when you open your mouth.
Yeah, can you see it when you open your mouth?
Can I see yours when you open your mouth?
I don't know.
No, I didn't see anything.
Hold on.
You probably can, actually.
Hold on, I'll take a picture.
Hold on, I'm looking at Google.
Yeah. I didn't know it was called a torus, or is that the shape she was calling it? Because is hers shaped like a torus? That'd be weird.
Oh, I don't have it. I'm a Pisces.
Hold on, I'm going to turn the flash on. This is great audio.
Oh, okay. I see. You know, Google Images always shows you, like, the crazy ones.
Okay, this will probably do it. Oh, God, this is a terrifying picture. Hold on, I'm going to send this to you. Oh, my God. I'm afraid of my own face. Here you go.
I can't wait.
Because the flash is on, it makes it a lot worse.
This is so great. Oh, okay, wow. Look at
that. Mine was not good.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, there's... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Do you have it?
I just haven't thought about that. I wanted to mention, too, my friend Katie, messaged me this week and shout out, she said that she has it and is amazed that other people do, too. She just found out it was the thing from our show. And, you know, I feel like we don't have enough data to know about, like, how common it is. It feels like it's something that, like, is being portrayed as, like, really weird and other, but it feels like a lot of people might actually have it, or / like, have it, like, not that it's a condition. Oh, yeah, look at you guys with your lumpy mouths.
That's terrifying. Those are so scary.
These pictures are so bad.
Yeah, that's incredible. Your Tauruses look alike. But you know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know. It's hard to explain how I feel about it, but it just feels like I'm not convinced that it's like that other, you know?
I don't think it's that rare either.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really hard to, like, as evidenced by my journey with it, like, it's really hard to, like, put into words like, to explain to someone what they're looking for in themselves, and then, like, you know, it's just like, it seems like something that's very hard to research, and it is, like, a relatively new, like, research concept. So I think it could be just, like, one of the many human variations of the mind. But I do think it's interesting that, like, people who are very far on the scale one way or the other find it really difficult to even understand how another person would function without the ability to envision things. Like when I was talking to Uncle Brown about it, to Dad, he was like, I still don't get it. I don't understand. He hadn't listened to the podcast yet, but, like, he was like, so when I tell you to when you're reading a book, like, do you give the characters faces? And I was like, not really. Like, I'm much more likely to give them voices than give them faces. And like, and you know, he was like, I don't understand how like, my spatial intelligence is very bad. But again, I don't think that you can really blame that on the aphantasia, because I mean, I don't even actually have it, but like, I think I'm like light on being able to imagine things. But like, Ian, his spatial intelligence is very good, and he thinks that he also has it. So like, right.
And my spatial intelligence is terrible, and I don't have, I just feel like it's like, well, you know, A, it's self-reported, and B, there's also so many other things. Like, I don't know how people can't, like, write songs, for instance, right? Like, I can't imagine, like, not being able to do that, but people don't do that. I can't imagine being able to, you know, do, like be,
pronounce names on the first try.
Yeah, exactly, right. Like, there are, like, specialized skills that people have, or, like, natural tendencies all the time. It's just, like, our brains are different in so many ways. Our personalities are different. Like, to fathom how somebody gets through life with a different personality than yours is also very hard. So I feel like this is just like another thing, right? And I don't, it feels like it doesn't really cause anything because we're all just multifaceted people.
Right. We're all
who
just
think differently anyway. Yeah. Except Ben, who's,
I am better than you. I just think different. That's a line from an MGBA song.
Gotcha.
Dad said that, tell me if this resonates with you, Erin. Dad said that, I was talking to him about, like, imagining a beach, and I was saying how, like, if you tell me to picture a beach, I can't really picture the beach, but I can feel like I'm at the beach. Like I can imagine the feeling of being at a beach. It does help me relax to imagine I'm at a beach, but I'm not seeing a beach. And Dad was like, if you tell me to picture a beach, I can tell you from the color of the water, whether I'm in the Bahamas or somewhere else. I can tell you where the line starts of the, of like shells on the sand. I can tell you whether there's a jetty. I can tell you like, you know, what the clouds look like. Like, I can describe it to you in detail.
Yeah, I'm seeing, like, debris in the sand. I'm seeing... Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I can imagine all those details. But another thing I wanted to point out, too, like, I'm thinking right now of, like, our summer trip. I'm on that beach. I'm looking at that scenery. I'm seeing, like, all of those things really vividly. And it's not accurate. It's not like it's, like, an accurate representation of what it actually was. Right? So it's not like I'm seeing a vivid thing and it is the vivid thing. It's just like, yeah, I see all of those things, like, I see them. But, you know, it's not like it's representative or anything necessarily of, like, what it's actually like.
So interesting. But yeah, that thing with the thing we sent the scary pictures about, I think we both all had the experience where we were, like, told by a dentist that it was normal and there was no problem with it. And we were like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So yeah, it's just, you never know.
Thank you. I love to hear that my mouth is normal, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, what if everybody went through that, just like with everything, like those little dangly things hanging from your ears? Those are earlobes, and you're totally fine. Everything's fine. Those are totally normal. You'd be like, okay, thank you. I know. Those dangly things hanging from your chest, those are totally normal. Those are called boobs. You're totally fine. They're fine.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Who's got up fronts? Any up fronts?
I have one. It's snowing in Durham.
Oh yeah!
Listen,
wow.
Don't. You two, you northerners, please don't shit on my snow parade. This is like the one snow we're gonna get. Everything is closed. It has snowed maybe 1.5 inches, which, like, accumulate at my house. That's a lot. I told you not to shit on my snow parade, and you're doing your little snow giggle. You're doing your little, ooh, the sweet little southern folk with their 1.5 inches of snow. But it's really nice. It doesn't snow here hardly at. This is like it snows like once a year. It's cozy. Like, we rarely get, like, snowed in, you know, and it doesn't take much in the South, but it really, you know, it's nice. We're, like, cooped up for the weekend because of the snow, and anyway. That's my friend.
Is it supposed to snow here at any point soon?
Honestly, I was just
It
trying to
didn't snow
figure
at
out when
all.
the last time it snowed was, because I feel like it's been months.
It like snowed the other night randomly, but it had melted all by the end of the day.
It didn't even snow here. It's just like I actually drove towards Boston that day, and there was snow on the ground when I got to Dedham, but it was like there was no snow where I was.
Yeah, it's just cold as fuck here right now.
Is it?
It was cold this morning.
And you haven't been outside since then?
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be 15 degrees tonight and tomorrow morning.
That's
Is
cold.
that cold
That's cold.
for you? Freaking
The high
Dilbert?
tomorrow is
Yeah.
37. That's pretty good.
For me,
This is
it's
a weather
32.
podcast.
Wait, that's so weird.
It's not that weird.
I don't
It's
know.
always
That's like
Been a
I feel
weather
like
podcast.
5 degrees difference. is-
Cities famously have just different temperatures than
Well, because Cape Cod
because
is
of buildings.
yeah, because of buildings.
Yeah,
And-
but they're usually warmer.
no, because Cape Cod is
Not
like known
in
for that.
cold.
Because it's warmer in the
Closer
winter
to the water.
and cooler in the summer because it's
Boston's a coastal city, though.
Yeah, but
I guess
it's-
you're surrounded by water there.
further north. It's just not the same. It's because of the
My
buildings.
high tomorrow is 39.
Ben, don't forget about the buildings, okay?
It's the buildings.
It's the buildings. It's the buildings and their air conditioning, and everybody opens the window.
Yeah, they're all running their air conditioning.
They're all
It
running
makes
it.
it colder,
And
Boston.
and you have to understand, so many buildings in Boston have AC.
And they
open
can't close their windows. Their windows won't close.
The windows reflect the cold off of all of each other.
I would say 80% of the buildings in Boston have air conditioning and no windows.
And no off switch for their air conditioning.
And then the
It's a
rest,
hellhole.
the air's bouncing off the windows, and it's cold, getting colder.
Yeah. I don't know how you live there, Ben.
The antennas make it colder.
Antennas. Yeah.
They touch the clouds and make it cold.
And they bring the cold down from the sky and they put it in the windows.
They put it out of the windows.
So that's the weather update. Congratulations on your snow, Erin.
Thanks.
It sounds very pretty and sweet.
It's continuing to snow.
All weekend it snowed? Is that what you said?
Right? No, it's continuing to snow, like right now. It's snowing right now.
It's not the weekend.
I know that.
I wish.
I'm just making
snow
sure
that.
you knew that.
I don't know. I thought you said something about the weekend. It's fine. Thanks, Aunt Brown, for the
singer.
email.
Can I clear something up? The Weeknd is a singer, right?
It's maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, do you mean, like, is it a
do you know
band
why
or a
I'm
singer?
Do you know why I'm asking
Oh, it's
that?
one guy, yes.
No.
Do you know why I'm asking that?
No.
No.
Because on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, he has this ad that he's like, The Weeknd, not the rapper. And then he just keeps calling The Weeknd the rapper. And I'm like, The Weeknd is a singer.
Yeah, he's not a
yeah,
rapper.
I think you're right.
Singer, songwriter, actor, record producer is what his occupation is listed as on.
Not rapper.
Canadian.
Huh?
Comedian, what?
Oh, Canadian.
No, comedian.
I could
Wait.
not. No, I said Canadian. He's Canadian.
Oh, that's funny.
Not the comedian.
I could not tell you a single song by him.
Oh, really?
I feel it coming. I
Oh,
feel
that's
it
him?
coming, baby.
Okay,
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
I could. I just
Good.
didn't know. Oh,
Like
he just
different
can't feel
parts
my
of it.
face. I know that song too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got
see?
a lot of well-known songs.
And then he has that one where he raps the whole time. Not.
Oh, and that other one that's like, I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
You mean the one that I just said?
But I
That's
love
titled
it.
"Can't Feel My Face."
I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
I can't.
I know that.
I can't hear
just
the
said,
words you
"Oh, he
said."
did can't feel my face."
Wow, he did say that.
I was just really in my feelings when you said that.
Really in my feelings.
Anyway.
Same.
All right.
Any more upfronts?
Any more fronts? I don't got any.
Should I eat this Reese's peanut butter cup?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow.
Why?
Do you ever just have a Reese's and you just want to eat it so bad, but you don't want to eat it because then you won't have it to eat anymore? That's how I'm feeling.
Just eat it now.
Like, if this was like, if we were in an apocalypse, I would understand.
I'm snowed in.
All the
There's a
Reese's
chance
stores are
I'm-
closed.
I'm never going to get another one again.
I can't get out.
An inch and a half.
To do. It's still snowing
It continues to snow.
on my deck. The accumulation is much less, probably, on the driveway.
Well, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's pop in then.
Well, yeah.
Yo, let's pop in.
Let's do
Come
it.
on.
Who
it me?
first?
It's Ben, yeah.
Ben, yeah.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
I'm Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
We mentioned earlier I got a new monitor. Did we
Sure
mention
did.
that on pod? Was that were we?
Yeah,
Well,
I think
yes.
so.
I think
Well,
so.
whatever. I got a new monitor. I got that monitor for streaming. I also got some other things that have yet to arrive, even though Amazon said my capture card would arrive yesterday. It did not. It said it was delivered. It is not.
Fucking
Rude.
sucks.
So
Maybe it was
Not
snow.
a cheap item.
The snow.
it might have been stolen, or also they say on their website that sometimes things get markers delivered and can take up to 48 hours extra even after that happens. So I'm going to wait till Friday to get really mad. But we'll see.
It sounds like you might already kind of be on the journey towards.
Yeah, I'm a little bit there.
Looking forward
Because
to
it's
it.
like giving me flashbacks when we first moved in, and our air mattress and blanket that we ordered to be here so we could have a place to sleep were not here.
And then reappeared
and then
later.
they showed up the next day, even though they said they'd been delivered.
Yeah.
But anyway, I only have the monitor right now for my streaming setup, but to sort of test it out and also to get back into streaming, I wanted to play something on it, and I found this Romhack of Pokemon Crystal called Pokemon Crystal Clear, which is my obsession, and I've been streaming it. It's so. I think I've said before on the pod, Generation 2 of Pokemon is my favorite. Generation 2 and its remakes are my favorite, and part of that is because it's the only generation that has 2 entire regions that you get to explore in it. So, like, you beat the 8 gyms, you beat the Elite Four, you get to the credits, you beat the game, and then whammo, slammo, bammo, you have 8 more gyms to beat.
Flip.
There's like,
Thank
yeah,
you,
it's
man.
fucking sick. Like, there's way that's far and away the most post game of any Pokemon game, which I always loved. And then after you beat all of them, you get to battle Red, who's like much harder than any other trainer in the game. It's great. It's so cool. It's so fun. So Crystal Clear, I mentioned it's a ROM hack, which is like, I mean, it's basically what it sounds like. Like, they hack the game to make it a different game, kind of, but they like build on top of what's already there. So like it looks and feels like the game, and a lot of it's the same, but they changed a lot of things. And the main thing they changed, well, they changed a lot of things, but the main thing main goal was to make it closer to an open world Pokemon game than any other Pokemon game. So normally the way Pokemon goes is it's obviously like very, very linear, and there are like set story points or like set things you need to collect, usually they're usually HMs, which are like moves that you can use outside of battle to like move a boulder or cut a tree down. And areas are usually blocked until you get these certain, basically get to these certain checkpoints. In Crystal Clear, they opened the whole thing up. Like, you can basically go anywhere from the start of the game. And you also have the choice between starting in Kanto or Johto. Kanto is where Generation 1 took place, and normally it's like the post-game region of Generation 2. Or you can start in Johto, just like the normal region. I chose to start in Kanto. You also, they added things like, kicked my microphone as is custom.
He's mixing it up. Usually punches it.
Yeah, this time I need it. They added some degree of character customization, which is really fun. It's still only pixelated sprites because it's a Generation 2 Pokemon game, but you can change the color, and they added some sprites. You can be a Team Rocket grunt kind of looking person. They also made it so that instead of picking only from 3 starter Pokemon, there are 15 to 20-ish. Some of them being hard mode starters like Ditto or Magikarp. Or Smeargle is another really, really hard one.
I would love to have a Magikarp following me around. Magikarps are so dope.
Oh yeah, they added having a Pokemon outside the Pokeball follow you around too. That wasn't in the original games.
Dope.
They're also continue. Well, I say they. It's one guy, I think, Shock Slayer.
Oh my god, a painter Pokemon.
Yeah, Smeargle.
Yeah,
Smeargle's fucking weird because he's a very unique Pokemon because he only ever learns one move called Sketch, and what it does is he gets to copy a move of the opposing Pokemon permanently.
Oh.
And it replaces Sketch, and then he repeatedly learns Sketch every 10 levels. So he's the only Pokemon that learns the same move multiple times, and also is it's just a very unique mechanic, but it makes it very difficult to start the game with because you can't really, I don't know, it's hard. Also, he just kind of sucks in general. His stats are not good. I started with Porygon, if anyone was curious out there listening. And yeah, it's been super fun. I'm really enjoying a lot of things about it. They've added a lot of little quality of life changes too. There's a really annoying thing in Pokemon games where when you go to the Pokemon Center, you're mashing through Nurse Joy's text boxes, and you end up talking to her again and going through the whole healing thing again by accident. And they made it so that you automatically turn around when your Pokemon are done healing, so you can't do that. Just little things like that where they're it's
quality
really,
of life touches.
Yeah, it's great. And you can also customize all of the music in the game. You can use music from later generations. You can change the battle music to be from Generation 4 or whatever, and it's an 8-bit version of that music. I realized recently, I didn't know this when I started it, that it's supposed to take place 4 years after the events of Pokemon Crystal, which I think is kind of how they explain why the map is so opened up, kind of. And there's no Team Rocket plot points, from what I can tell. So you don't have to worry about those things to get through different parts of the game. What else?
What's the experience like for you? Just not having to worry about those things. Is it how well did you know that game? Is it totally crazy to be able to do all these things and have the
oh yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
it's almost a little overwhelming because I know the path through Pokemon Crystal the back of my hand because I played it, or I've played Soul Silver, which is a remake of Generation 2, so many times that it's sort of I have so many choices now. And also it is more challenging than a regular Pokemon game because you can do the gyms in any order, like, and that includes like going back and forth between doing Johto and Kanto gyms all you want. And as you get more gym badges, the gym leaders get harder. And also because you can go anywhere, like there are some areas that have like really strong Pokemon, and you can just like go there from the beginning of the game. Like I went to Victory Road when I only had like a level 5 Porygon, and there were like level 30 something things that were killing me. So it's definitely harder than a regular Pokemon game, which is that's also part of the fun of it, I think.
Yeah,
is adding a little more challenge than you're used to with Pokemon.
Cool.
But yeah, I really am enjoying it a lot. I'm excited to keep playing it.
Hannah, Ben named a
it's
Pokemon
good.
he caught after my handle the other night. It was really awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was slapping. It was really slapping.
It was a
Until it
Farfetch'd
died.
name named Erin Bernog.
I saw that.
Romhack.
I did see Erin Bernog. I suggested when I was watching Ben that he should play it as a Nuzlocke run, which like means a few things that he like. There are several rules that I won't list in detail because Ben broke every one of them like within that session. So
Listen, because I didn't want to kill Ernbernog.
yeah, I know.
Because if I was following Nuzlocke rules, I would have had to release Ernbernog.
Yeah,
Were you watching when I was on stream, or is that a different night, Hannah?
I don't remember seeing him name Erin Bernog. I don't know if it was the same
I
night.
feel like you would have been talking with us if you'd been on it.
Also, like, the point of Nuzlocke is to make the game harder.
But the game's
Explain that.
already
This game's
hard.
already...
Explain Nuzlocke. What does that word mean? What the fuck does that word mean?
It means that the two main like facets of it are you have to catch the first Pokemon that you encounter on every like new area and nickname it, and if you don't catch that Pokemon, then you don't get to catch Pokemon in that area. And if Pokemon faint, then they die, and you have to release them.
Mm-hmm.
Who came up with this? What are the origins and etymology of this word, please?
Nuzlocke.
I say Nuzlocke.
Well, it comes from the Pokemon Nuzleaf, or I guess you call it Nuzleaf too.
I would.
I don't know.
Oh, she's eating it. She's eating peanut butter cup.
I'm eating my Reese's
I
cup.
don't actually know where that came from. I think it came from like someone locking themselves into Nuzleaf or something. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. That sounds like a fucking drag.
I have no
that
idea.
sounds
but it's
like
very well.
restricting yourself to have no fun for no reason.
Well, I think if it's not like
what the hell?
if it's not like this particular game, I think it makes sense if you want to like up the difficulty a little bit if you're playing through for a second time.
It's not bad. I've done it for like
got
regular Pokemon games before. It's not that bad.
Griffin
But for
McElroy
this
did
one-
a great one. Let me see if I can find you the first.
For this one, also with Nuzlocke runs, because like at least the way I usually do it is, because I'd never want any of them to die. I will spend so much time grinding to make sure I'm like over leveled for certain things, and that's just not as fun a lot of the time for people to watch or for me to play. So I prefer to have the option to. What the fuck? My lamp keeps flickering.
For me, something fell down. Here's a link to.
For me, something fell down.
I don't know about you, but for me, something fell down. I just linked for anybody who hasn't seen it. Of the two of you, I linked the first episode of Griffin McElroy's Nuzlocke run that he did a few years ago because it's very good and funny, as you might imagine. Cool. He did it for Pokemon Y.
Oh, they also I didn't even mention they like added a bunch of new areas to the map. In Crystal Clear, which is very cool. Jesus fucking Christ.
Is that the radiator?
Yeah, it's going off right now.
Wow, popping off.
Let us know if you like that.
They also, like, in the original Generation 2 games, a lot of the areas of Kanto were sort of pared down from their original versions. And in crystal clear, they like updated them all to be either a lot more like the original or just like added even more stuff to them. So Kanto is like also a lot more full of a region. There's so many good things. I just like it a lot.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch. Yeah.
I've been enjoying your stream.
It's a good stream.
What is
Hopefully, by tomorrow, I'll have the equipment I need to stream from my freaking consoles.
Yeah, what's your plan? That kind of leads into my cue. What's your plan for streaming once you get your stuff? What are you going to be streaming then?
I'm going to start running Sapphire again.
Cool. Speedruns?
Speedruns?
Yeah. I also have thought... I'm also thinking about doing randomizer. Because I have a homebrewed Wii, but I haven't done anything to set that up yet.
Dope. You know, reflecting on conversation, the only thing I used homebrew for was getting that Wii Mod Lite to unpackage my WAD files. And also, Sarah texted me. She was half listening to our conversation, and she heard like unload a WAD file on my Wii or something like that. She was like, what the fuck?
That's what I also almost made that joke, but like it was like the moment had passed and you guys were just being so matter of fact that like
I didn't even register that.
Shout out to Sarah.
So funny.
Sarah gets you. That's
Same
a true
level.
fact.
Same level.
She understands.
And I also, I got the same like Wii to HDMI thing I sent you, and I got the thing for my GameCube, so I can play GameCube and Wii games. And also, you know what I was thinking about streaming was the Fire Emblem, because I'm towards the end of that game, and with that capture card I can stream the Switch too.
Dope.
So I might do some of that.
I'll look forward to watching you stream some more.
Stream. Awesome.
Stream.
Very cool obsession. If you're a Pokemon fan, you should definitely try out this crystal clear
yeah, it's great.
Romhack.
Where do you find these things?
So I heard of it from a random YouTube video that got suggested to me.
Nice.
And then I went to, I think it's shockslayer.com, the guy's website, but if you go there, it links you to a Discord where you can then download it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not super direct, and you have to you have to download a ROM of Pokemon Crystal, and then they have like a little file they patch into it.
Cool.
It's very easy to do. There are like clear directions in the Discord. So go to shockslayer.com if you want it.
Shockslayer.com.
Slayer.
And the emulator I use is MGBA if anyone's interested. It's the one that's approved for Game Boy Advance Pokemon speedruns.
It's a fucking proved.
There's also Gambate for but that's only for Game Boy and Game Boy Color. MGBA can do Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy games.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. What is the overlap in our listener base that they want to hear about? What did we talk about last week? We talked about streaming, aphantasia, and pedals for armor.
I feel like everybody.
There's something for everybody. That's true.
There's something for everybody. That's the whole point. I feel like
Are
the
you
relatable.
trying to say this podcast is way too broad?
Yeah, I knew
Apparently,
that.
there's this local meetup where people give like lightning talks at a bar about the thing that they're like absolutely obsessed with, and I'm like, yo, that's so relatable.
Yeah,
got a podcast in my home about that.
Yeah. I don't have to go to a bar, so it's even better. There was someone, I think I might have pitched this idea before.
There was a someone.
Someone mentioned at some point, I don't remember if it was like in person or like on TV or what, but that they went to a party once where they had to prepare a PowerPoint for the party. Like everyone prepared a PowerPoint about something.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Just like something they were interested in that they wanted to share with their friends. They just made a PowerPoint about it and then presented it to everybody.
Wow.
I think it sounds fun.
It sounds fun. You know, somebody recently was like telling me about this like party they went to that had like 3 phases to it, and they were all like something crazy, and I was like, I just like have never had a friend like that. My friends are like, you want to come over and or not? We do takeout, or maybe we just hang out next week. You know?
Yeah.
Not like, come over, bring 3 bottles of wine, we'll sample them all, you know? Like.
So true. Shout out to those types of friends. You're
yeah, I think it sounds fun.
Yeah, all
and
the
then you're
friends.
like, why couldn't I be that friend? And then I'm like,
too much work.
Yeah. It's not authentic. Wouldn't it be authentic?
Yeah. Wow.
Cool.
Great job, Ben.
Yeah, good job, Ben. What you got, Hannah?
I also have a video game.
Hannah.
She's got a video game.
Not so broad after all. What?
What the fuck is it?
I think I might have mentioned it to at least one of you off pod before, because I've been kind of curious about it for a while, and I finally started playing it in the past like week or two.
She's been vicarious. Video game curious.
Curious, yeah. It's called Kentucky Route Zero.
Oh, you did mention it.
You did not mention
Kylie.
Yes. It's a very interesting game. I think
I forget everything about it.
I think it might be fun to stream, actually.
Dope, yes.
I think it might be fun.
How do I describe it?
3 words. I think they explain it perfectly.
I did search for Kentucky root, like the root vegetable. 0.
Kentucky Route Zero.
Not.
Yeah.
Kentucky Route 0.
So it's a game.
Wait, what? That's what I was thinking. ROT the whole time.
Oh, I say root. What's the problem?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's your problem. I'm saying it's a me problem for not.
It's kind of a her problem.
That ROUTE made so much more sense.
So
it does make more sense. That was kind of my reflection. Was that like I'm a dum-dum.
So Kentucky Route Zero is a game that was originally put out for PC, I believe, and then recently was released on the Switch. When it was put out on the PC, it was released in acts. There are 5 acts that came out over the course of several years. So it's like a sort of a point and click sort of thing, like point and click adventure game, but it's defies genre in a lot of ways. It's more of like a narrative experience, like an interactive sort of storytelling experience than like a game with a really solid like direction, I guess. Like you have a character and he has a goal going in, but ultimately as you go along the journey, it's not necessarily about that goal as much as it's about like learning stuff about the characters you're with and making decisions, and the decisions that you make, as I understand it, actually have an impact on the plot as it goes along. So you can go back and replay it and try different things and see what happens. And it's very like exploratory. It's not like I mean, I don't know. It's only my first time playing through it. I haven't finished it yet. It doesn't seem like it's not like an open world game or anything. Like there's sort of a path they want you to take, at least in terms of like where you go next when you're like driving around, because you're a truck driver in this game. But there's like just things to be found everywhere. Like I'm really excited to sort of like explore this game over the coming years and kind of revisit it as time goes on. Yeah. So yeah, it was like kind of a cult favorite for a long time because it was now, you know, it only recently was finished. So people would talk about it, but, there wasn't a ton to talk about, I guess. I mean, there's like, I don't know. It's really like, it's worth not knowing a ton about it going in, like just kind of like play it and explore and like, you know, find your own personality in it, I guess. the main character, I'm forgetting his name now, but he's a delivery truck driver for an antique shop.
I bet it's like something dumb like Conway or
It's
something.
Conway, yeah. Conway, and his...
Ferdinand.
It's Conway and his dog, who you get to name
Ferdinand.
at the beginning.
His dog is Ferdinand.
I think you get to pick from 3 names. I think I picked Blue. And the dog's like an old dog, and the truck actually is also really old, and so is the antique shop. It's actually like about to
The
close.
truck is also an old dog.
The truck's an old dog. The antique shop's an old dog.
It's dogs all the way down.
Conway is the Conway is an old dog. He's trying to make his last delivery. It's like the last delivery that this antique shop is closing. So it's the last delivery they're ever gonna make. So he's driving around looking for this address. I think it's like 5 Dogwood Drive, speaking of dogs. And so as he's having trouble finding it, he's like asking locals and seeing like kind of like weird shit and being directed to other locals and talking to them and being directed towards other weird shit. And it's just like got this like air of mystery right from the beginning. Like one of the first things that happens, this is not a huge spoiler, is that you have to go. So you start out at a gas station, but all the lights are off, and there's just this like one gas station attendant outside, and he's not getting up. So he asks you if you'll go and reset his breaker for him so that he can watch TV. And then in return, he'll tell you how to get where you're going or how to get to the next step of where you're going. So you have to go down into the basement of this gas station. And when you're down there, you see these people who are like playing a game at a table, and it becomes clear that they, first of all, you can talk to them, but they'll never acknowledge you. They're just like conversing with each other. They're playing something like D&D at this table. And also it becomes clear that the breaker box is like past them, like they're in your way. So you have to figure out what they need you to do based on listening to their conversation, but they never will talk to you directly. And then when you actually do what they need you to do, what they like need, then when you come back, they've disappeared.
Oh, fuck.
And like, so it's not,
Whoa.
but it's not like spooky. It's just like, I don't know. It feels more like, it is mysterious, but it feels more like kind of overlapping universes, overlapping realities. And like, there are these through lines, like those 3 characters do like turn up again later. Oh, and they like have their own, there's like 5 acts, and there's also interludes between each act that came out like in the years between when the acts originally came out. And they sort of have hints. Yes, it's very surrealist. I just got a note from, not surrealist, but like surreal. I just got a note from the producer. It's like, oh, you know what it's been compared with actually is like magical realism novels. Like,
oh, I love that
like,
shit.
a Haruki Murakami, or like, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Garcia Marquez.
Gabriel Garcia, Gabriel, Gabey,
Garcey Markey.
Gabey Garcia Markey.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
My favorite author, Gabriel Garcia.
1,000 Years of Solitude is his most
I
famous
just spit
book.
my water out all fucking over
I thought it
myself.
was 100 years. Is it 1,000?
No, maybe it's 100. Hundo, thousand. I think it's a hundo.
No, I'm sorry. Okay, 100 years is Gabriel Garcia Marquez. 1,000 years is Gabey Garcia Markey.
See, everyone can be right, and
Yeah.
Everyone
I love
can
that
be
book
right.
by Go Grabby Markey.
yeah, it's like that's exactly what it's like. It's not spooky. It's like magical realism. Like no one's like haunting you. You're just like it's like
Just weird things are
universes
happening.
with a
and they're just
thin
happening.
veil between them or something, and like there's weird things going on with the roads, and there's just like weird, like also all this random shit that I don't think is ever going to come back around again, but they just have it. Like there's this thing on your way to the next location, there's just this burning tree. It's on fire. It's always on fire. It's right there on the map, like it's just a landmark. Because when you drive around, you're like driving around a map, but it's not even referenced by anyone ever. It's just there. You can look at it. You can just stop and look at it, and it'll be like, yeah, that tree's on fire. And then you just keep going. Like, you can't interact with the tree. You can't walk around the tree. You can just look from your car and then move on. And that's all you can ever do. It's just really interesting. Wow. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. I like it.
Let's talk about
Maybe I'll get that game and stream it.
Yeah, well, Hannah's gonna stream it. When are you gonna stream it?
Well, everything that you guys, as we established already, all the stuff you guys talk about related to streaming just kind of sounds like sexual innuendo to me and Sarah. So I don't know how to do it. I play on the Switch.
How to do what?
How to do streaming.
Streaming.
You just turn it on.
You just relax and get comfortable and stream.
Just let it flow naturally.
Just drink a quart of water like, an hour before. We can talk. You need a capture card. Okay. Number one.
Have either of you streamed from a Switch?
And probably
before?
That's it. Huh?
No, but the capture card that Erin bought and that I also bought will work with the Switch.
Okay. Send me the link and we'll see.
And then you need a PC that's up for it. I think that's an important bit. You need a computer that's going to be down. DTS.
Okay. Well, does it list anything about the specs that it needs to work with on the product page?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It does. And you know what? My graphics card is not, my hardware was to spec and my operating system, but my graphics card wasn't, and it's been working great. You've seen it, so.
Yeah, it has been working great.
Yeah, I mean, they have like recommended specs, but it'll work with less for sure.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I mean, this computer's not brand new, but it's not terrible, but it's not like a gaming computer. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. So that's it. Kentucky Route Zero. Check it out. There's a good episode of The Besties, which was the thing that finally convinced me to buy it. The Besties is only on Spotify. It's a podcast with a bunch of the old Polygon crew. And it's weekly now, and they did an entire episode about Kentucky Route Zero. They all played it and had their own opinions, but hearing them talk about it really intrigued me. So I would recommend that.
Cool. It looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. Erin, what's your obsession?
I don't have one.
Is that true?
It's true. I don't have one.
I feel that.
Racking my brain. I've been just like, my mood the past couple weeks have been like, I just want to like lie on the floor 100% of the time and not do anything.
Mm-hmm. Or that February feeling.
Yeah, that's February, baby. That's like, I was actually starting out February strong. I was like on my bullshit. I was in a great mood. I was doing it up. What are you looking at?
Calendar.
Oh.
Yep, still February.
Yep, still February. And I was actually, I feel like it's hubris. Is that handsome? Wow.
No, that's Bilbo. He's famous on Twitter. It says,
nice.
Examine drugs for quality.
She's showing us her calendar.
Yeah. Great audio.
I was like feeling really cocky going into February. Like, oh, I'm doing great. I'm not going to have this February blues. And then like, wham, like a ton of bricks. You know, it's just like hard to do anything. So, yeah, I haven't really been doing much new. You know what I was thinking though? I need to just like, I think really getting into a really good book is just the thing I need. Mm-hmm. So I might just like get a nice reread going just to kick things off, you know, just like reread something that, you know, is special to me.
Yeah.
And go from there. So, I don't have anything. I've been streaming, which I've been enjoying. Rewatching The L Word with Molly. That's been great, you know. So, and then just kind of lying around, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
That's good for that February feeling.
Yeah, it's going to resolve in March, but I'm just like, ugh.
I know.
So, and now I'm snowed in, which is actually really good for that. For, like, not wanting to, like, do anything, being snowed in is pretty dope, so.
And Edward Snowden also.
I don't think that's great for him.
For not wanting to do anything? Yeah, you might be right.
Oh, maybe.
Well, that's fine.
That's me.
Okay.
I really just don't have anything. So.
Honestly, I feel very glad that I came up with something because I didn't have an obsession until like 5 minutes before I came in here. And then I was like, what about that game I've been playing? And Ian was like, you already talked about that. And I was like, I don't think so. And we looked it up and it turned out that I hadn't. But
you hadn't?
No.
I never flipping heard of it my whole entire
what a bad
life.
Producer.
Yeah.
Hey, he knew where to look for the answers.
Oh, I do want to mention one thing that brought me some joy was I didn't finish, but I like have a working product of the Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
For Mac tracker app. Yeah, it's working really great. I used it on my stream the other night. I sent it to... Oh no, I think I closed it and lost all my data. I haven't persisted the data yet. I need to work on that. But I
closed it and lost all of it and you have to start from scratch.
I did. So that's kind of the thing that I need to work on. But that's why I said it's not finished. It's like I think probably one of the last pieces I need. If you close it, it erases all your item tracking. So helpful? Is this helpful? Yeah, and I was able to send it to somebody and they opened it and were running it on their Mac, so that was cool.
Oh, nice.
Hope they're not using it. Yeah, it's just like, don't close it. But I can add that. I know how to, I just didn't do it. But yeah, it's nice.
It looks nice. It looks a lot better than the last one.
Hey,
I appreciate you. What's up?
You should set it so that your past broadcasts are automatically saved, because they're not right now.
My what now?
And by default, Twitch doesn't save your broadcasts.
Oh, okay.
So to be watched later, but you can go into your settings and change it.
Oh, okay. Cool. Should I do that?
Show up on your page if you want. If you want to like have people be able to watch them later.
Oh, okay.
I actually don't matter much. The main reason I made sure I did that was so that I could upload my PBs to YouTube or highlights, so I could upload them leaderboards and stuff. But I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah,
I thought about that too because I can also record stuff. Maybe if I do something neat. Oh, Ben, I was going to say this app I made is not just for Mac. It actually compiles to like. I can make a Windows version too. So if you start doing OT randomizer, I will send it to you if you want to use it. Just don't close it.
Just don't close it.
I'll probably add that in before.
Probably.
I'll add that in before I send it.
If I started streaming Kentucky Route Zero, you think I should start it from the beginning? Because then you could see it from the beginning.
Nah, do whatever you want, dog.
I might do it from the beginning.
Yeah, I'd say you do you because it. We're not guaranteed to catch it linearly either. You know what I mean?
That's true. We'll see.
You do you. Whatever feels good.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. So we're all gonna be Twitch stars in no time.
Yep.
That's the main thing I'm learning this week.
Just like we're podcast stars after 2.5 years of podcasting.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that we've conquered the world of podcasting, it's time to move on to streaming video games.
We're diversifying our assets.
Yes. Well, cool. I mean, I guess we could just do homework then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is that cool with you, Erin?
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Okay. I don't want you to feel...
I'm obsessionless.
I don't want you to feel like you got shortchanged on time.
It was funny because you almost rolled into upfronts without asking me what I was drinking. But I was like, oh my god, that's like such a foreshadow.
All right. Ben, what's your homework?
My homework. Go to shockslayer.com. Go to Discord, then follow the directions to download Crystal Clear. You need an emulator that can play Game Boy Color ROMs, so get that also. Also watch my stream, twitch.tv/DiscoGreg. Hopefully my capture card will be delivered by Friday, unless Amazon is a piece of shit, or someone else piece of shit and stole it, which is also kind of likely because I live in a fucking city.
It's always
cold.
Yeah.
It's so cold because people are stealing things. That's it. My Twitter's nicely proven. That's
nice.
it. No,
What's
that's
the point of saying it's delivered if it's not actually delivered and could not be delivered for up to 48 hours? Why say it's delivered?
Can I tell you something? I have a budding conspiracy theory that it has to do with the fact that they guarantee 2-day shipping, and so maybe they game their own system so that it shows that it was actually delivered.
Did you get a photo this time, like you did the last time?
No, and here's also the weird thing. So it has a little message, and on all of my other packages that have actually arrived, it says package was left in a secure location. Mm-hmm. But for this package, it said package was left in the mailroom. There is no mailroom in my apartment building.
Yeah, there's just an entryway with mailboxes.
There's just an entry that has mailboxes in it, which is where they usually leave it and say in a secure location. So I think something is afoot.
Yeah, it seems like something.
I don't think it was stolen. I think it was something fucked up by Amazon.
Seems like something is
Yeah,
afoot.
that's like a total mind game. Guaranteed 2 days delivery. Yeah, it was delivered. I mean, it hasn't been delivered yet, but we delivered it. But in 48 hours, it'll be delivered. You'll have it. We delivered it. You just don't have it yet. But we delivered it. But you get it.
4 days.
48 hours.
It's not 4 days. It's 2 days. It's 2 days. With a 48-hour swing on it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's 2 days and then a 48-hour window.
That is a good conspiracy theory. I think that's
I like it.
True.
I think you're right on.
They're goosing the system.
They're goosing it.
They're goosing it.
They're pinching right in the goose.
Oh, and you know what else? This is one of those packages where it's coming from 2 different places, but to use less packaging material, they shipped the 2 separate items in the same box. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if maybe it's something where they arrived at the carrier facility separately, and then they one of them is late or some bullshit like that. I don't fucking know.
And they're just mark it delivered, Jeff. We can't afford another mark on our record.
Yeah.
Like that.
Bezos is gonna come get us.
How are we gonna afford our water?
It's amazing.
For our children.
I've never heard anything like it in my life.
Oh, man, I love it. Wow. And it's not like that is a cheap item that you have. It's not like it's a hairbrush.
No, it's not.
Hey, hairbrushes can be expensive.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to diss on hairbrushes. I never meant to imply that you use a cheap hairbrush.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Hannah, what's your homework?
My hairbrush.
My hairbrush.
You all heard me. Okay. My hairbrushes go to on the Switch and download Kentucky Route Zero. It's $25 for all 5 acts, which is pretty good for what you get.
Yeah.
and go play it. It's called Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition, or to get like the full 5 acts on like the computer, like on Steam or whatever, is Kentucky Route Zero Computer Edition, I believe.
Do you ever call it Kentucky Fried Zero?
Not unless I just did. Did I?
I don't think so, but I think it every time you say it.
I'm gonna start saying, do you ever do this? Not unless I just did.
So yeah, it's good. And listen to the episode of the Besties where they discuss Kentucky Route Zero if you are still unclear about whether or not you want to play it. That should help you know.
Help you, yes.
It should help you know.
Don't say me. So I'm a linguistic innovator, and you guys can't deny it.
We can't handle it.
My social medias are Anthropology. And I have another podcast called So Dreamy. We talk about dreams, sleepwalking, sleep talking, and life through the lens of dreams.
Love it.
And I guess that's it. Watch me on Twitch. I don't know what. I might be Anthropology if it's not taken. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know when.
Don't you have a
Yeah, but
one.
can you stream? Is that a streaming account? I don't know how any of this works.
I think we're all, yes.
Yeah, you can do it in that account.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
that's
it
what
is
they want you to
Anthropology. Like the study of people with an H at the beginning.
Do you have other things on it? Or did you grab Anthropology?
No, I'm pretty sure it's just Anthropology. Let
Dope.
me see. Yeah.
I got Disco Greg, but I can't get the Twitter handle.
Video
Oh,
producer.
you can't get Nicely Proved Bun?
No, I can't get Disco Greg.
On
Oh.
what? Oh, on Twitter.
You used
On
to have
Twitter.
it, right?
On Twitter.
No, he had any.
No, I never had it on Twitter.
Oh, you never had it. Okay. Yeah, I changed mine because Earnburn was taken and I was... Anyway, whatever. Is it me now?
Yes.
You can change your Twitch
Welcome
handle
to you
every
now.
60 days.
Oh.
Okay. Hello. My
Yeah,
name...
there was a long time where you couldn't change it. It was a big deal when they allowed that finally.
Oh.
Wow, cool. I don't have any homework because I don't have an obsession. Cool.
Mhm.
I finally have a social media, which is follow me on Twitch. I'm earnbird_OG,
Mm.
or as I'm now known as Earnbernog, because I just don't know how I didn't see that becoming a thing. And instead of being bothered by it, I just decided to lean in. So, Earnbernog.
Nice.
That's all. I like to stream Randomizer, and I still do, and I might a little tonight after this recording. That's how that goes.
Nice. No one. Okay. No one will know but us.
Snowed in.
Yeah. Cool.
No, that homework's just for us.
Yeah. If you want to call us and tell us your obsession or what you're going to start streaming on Twitch, you can do that at 774-326-0420.
Blaze it.
Blaze it and praise it, but don't dial blaze it.
Love it.
If you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at WayTooBroad. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we're at WayTooBroad. If you want to email us about our obsessions this week or anything that you found interesting in life that you just want to share that you think we would like, you can do that at waytoobrod@gmail.com. If you missed any of that, all the information you'll ever need about the podcast is at waytoobrod.com for anything you want. Earnben.com for anything you need. That's ERNBEN.com for anything you need.
Anything you need.
And please leave us a review wherever you can leave us a review. Don't forget about us. We love you. And
We love you.
thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
The podcast
Bye,
candle
nerds.
is now
Goodbye.
extinguished.
And now you're listening to the theme song with the end one.
Go drink some water. Water. Classic